I love Spanish for many reasons. Obviously, it allows us to talk to people we're not supposed to be able to talk to. That's cool. But I also really just love the language and the words. I especially like looking for connections and relationships between Spanish words and rules and their English counterparts. In fact, that's kind of what Gringo Español is all about. Me sharing the connections and relationships I find with you, so you can speak better Spanish and have more fun doing it. In fact, I always tell my students, if you don't know a word in Spanish, your best bet is to take the English word and just Spanishify it. There are an unbelievable amount of words that are essentially the same in English and Spanish. Like pause in English is pausa in Spanish. Liquor is licor. Bank is banco. Those are called cognates. Cognates are words that are related or have the same origin. But cognate is a technical term that sometimes doesn't apply. So I just call them friends. I totally stole that years ago from some website. Your ability to Spanishify an English word will get better as you gain more experience. But there are treacherous enemies about, and if you're not aware of their existence and you don't avoid them, you will embarrass yourself eventually. Funny how I used the word embarrassed. Today, I'm gonna share with you two of my favorite, most common and humorous false friends. Hola, soy Jordan, and this is a Spanish Quickie. Fast, easy Spanish lessons from somebody who speaks your language. I was with my friends in Spain. This is back when I was first learning Spanish, and I don't know if you noticed yet, but I like to tell stories. So I was telling my Spanish friends a story, I don't recall which one, and I mentioned that I was embarrassed, embarazado. Remember, if you don't know a word in Spanish, just Spanishify the English word. This one was easy. But they all started laughing. What's so funny? I was embarazado, embarrassed. I was about to learn a very hard lesson. It's true that when you don't know a word in Spanish, you can just Spanishify the English and you'll be cool, usually. But sometimes you'll be absolutely, totally wrong. Embarrassed is not embarazado in Spanish. Embarrassed is avergonzado, which sucks because that's not the easiest word to say, but that's just life. Embarrassed is avergonzado. So what's embarazado and why were they laughing? Well, usually nothing, but embarazada with an A at the end instead of an O, that means pregnant. That's why my friends were laughing. I kept repeating I was pregnant. Technically, embarazado with the O is pregnant too, but obviously that's quite rare in reality. I thought this was hilarious. It's one of my favorite false friends. I don't know why that word is used for pregnant in Spanish, but the mistake I made has sure made it much easier for me to remember the word for pregnant all these years. That's the cool thing about making mistakes. Mistakes usually help us remember the correct way, which is why I always say mistakes are good. That's actually the second time I've ever said that. Okay, our next false friend. This time, the shoe was on the other foot. I was talking with my buddy Manuel, and he was a little under the weather. He mentioned that he was constipado, which is obviously constipated. Now, I'm all about talking about my but I'm not used to the much more mild-mannered Manuel doing so. So I laughed. You're constipated? I laughed again. What can I say? I'm immature, and he was so cute with his little accent telling me he was constipated. I don't remember how or how long it took us to figure out there was a miscommunication. You see, constipado in Spanish, technically it does mean constipated, but they use that word for their nose, not their butt. So when you have a stuffy nose, you say, estoy constipado. If you think about it, it's the same condition, the clogging of a tube or something like that. But in Spanish, they just use it for their nose. The real word for constipated in Spanish is estreñido. That's not a very common word though, so only spend time memorizing it if you get constipated a lot. In fact, I just looked it up right now to make this video for you. But pregnant, embarrassed, and stuffy nose or congested, those are pretty common and thus important words. Pregnant is embarazada, embarrassed is avergonzado, and congested is constipado. And as you learned in the video called adjectives, creative name I know, adjectives have 4 forms. So avergonzado can be avergonzada, avergonzados, or avergonzadas. And constipado can be constipada, constipados, or constipadas. The form has to match the noun. Embarazada has 4 forms too, but usually just embarazada and embarazadas is used. Men don't get pregnant too often. That's it for today. All the words I used in this lesson are listed nicely for you over at gringoespanol.com/false-friends. So head over there now, use the flashcard strategy to memorize these words, and maybe catch a little buzz in the process. That's gringoespanol.com/false-friends. That link is also below this video. And like I said in the intro, if you're not receiving the Gringo Espanol newsletter every week, you're missing out. Not only do you get a summary of everything posted each week, but when you're a subscriber to the newsletter, you get stories, lessons, and offers that not everybody gets. So go to gringoespanol.com/free-updates to get on the list and stop missing out on that extra stuff. Now, if you haven't liked this video yet, please do that. Press like or the big thumbs up to let me know you liked it. If you didn't, please send all hate mail to jordan@gringoespanol.com. If you know anybody who wants to learn Spanish for free, share this video with them. Do it publicly or privately. I don't care. Just do it. I will see you next time. Hasta luego. Adios, amigo. I will see you